welcome to day 9 of PODMAS for the Autism Mami podcast. This is your girl, Steffi Kiss. If you don't know, and this is your first time listening, PODMAS is where I will be releasing a new mini episode for the first 25 days of December leading up until Christmas, where I will give you sneak peeks of topics you can hope to hear on the upcoming Autism Mami podcast. And today we are talking dating. Oh my God. Dating. I can talk about this for hours, but I'm going to keep it short and sweet, okay? Let me tell you what grinds my gears first and foremost, though. Have you ever noticed whenever you see a mom with a special needs child in a movie or a show, she's always single? It's like they need to perpetuate the narrative that a mother with a special needs child doesn't have time nor the mental capacity to deal with anybody else. It's all about their kid all the time. And I am here to tell you that does not need to be the case, girl. Okay? You can have a dating life and still be a mother with a special needs child. It's a little bit harder and it takes a little bit more time, but it can be done. Why can't we have those relationships realized in movies and or television? That blows my mind. I don't know. But here on the Autism Mami podcast, I am telling you that it is possible, okay? I am a 36-year-old, and while it's hard as fuck for all of us, I feel like sometimes I have bigger hurdles with Ethan. Ethan has been my entire life for a very long time. And while he will always be a priority, I know I have to take care of myself too, because guess what? And I say this all the fucking time. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot pour from an empty cup. I cannot be miserable and expect for my kid to be happy. It doesn't make sense. That's not a thing. I don't want to be alone with just my son forever. I really don't. So that means that I have to, and these tips is me talking to myself, okay? I'm letting you know what I've realized that I have to do as a single mom with a special needs child. I have to be intentional with my dating. I need a partner who understands that I can be both an amazing partner while also a mom who puts her kids above herself sometimes. And if he can't realize that, or if I have to feel like I'm constantly defending my motherhood to this person, then I need to realize that he's just not for me. For a very long time, I felt that I had to prove to these men that they won't always come second in my life. And what I've realized is that I need a man to understand that sometimes you will come second, third, fourth, because there are some things that will come before you. And I need to also realize that I don't always come first, right? I think this is just me. I don't know how anybody else feels, but in my experience and in my life and where I am today, I just feel like as adults, people in their mid 30s, 40s, we've realized that not one person cannot be everything to you. That's just not realistic. Whether you have a kid, whether you have a career, whether you have, parents that still depend on you, these are things that sometimes might have to be put a little bit above your partner. And not to say that you love your partner any less or that you won't be there for them, but they also need to realize that priorities shift depending on the situation. Number 2 for me is to always be upfront about my child. Now, this isn't something I need to learn, but this is a tip I'm giving y'all. I do not hide my child's diagnosis or the hardships associated with it. I am going to tell you about meltdowns. I am going to tell you about his attitude. I'm going to tell you about how SSI is playing me. I'm going to tell you about how it's hard for me to get him an RBT. I'm going to tell you how it's hard for me to find childcare. I'm going to tell you how, maybe you should come over and I'll cook because I can't find a babysitter. Like, these are just things that I need to be upfront with anyone who I'm dating. It's not simple. I cannot just drop everything at the drop of a hat because you want to go to the movies tomorrow night. That's not a reality for me. And I feel like I have to be upfront with anyone who's interested in me. And if that's not something that they can deal with, if that's not something that they can handle, then that's fine. That just means that you're not for me. You're not for me. And that's okay. That really is okay. Number 3 is, while Ethan is a priority, no ifs, ands, or buts, I have to remember that I'm trying to attract a supportive, patient, and attentive partner. And in order to do so, I also have to be supportive, attentive, and patient in return. For a long time, I said that Ethan comes first and foremost in all things. And I just said this. That is not realistic. While yes, he is a huge priority. I base a lot of my decisions in life based on what's going on in that little boy's life. However, it's not realistic for one person to be the be all end all in your life. It's just not realistic. Sometimes some other things, I'm not going to say come first, but you have to make adjustments. You have to make sacrifices. It's just, it has to be done. And I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I might get some slack for this. But who is going to want to be in a relationship where they always have to play second fiddle? Who? Not me. I have to be realistic that I would never want to always come second to something else. I never would. Sometimes, yes, I'll have to. But all the time, bro, that's not realistic. That's not a thing. And of course, not every man deserves it. But that's where discernment comes in. And your new person will do what they need to when you are doing what you need to be doing as well. Point blank, period. You have to attract what you want at the end of the day. Don't be so hard on yourself, mama. And remember,
bitch, you doing a good job. Bitch, you doing a good job. Bitch, you doing a good job. Bitch, you doing a good job.